Welcome one and all to this online battle, 1v1, mano a mano, Juan on Juan if you're in Mexico. In my last online battle someone said, play as the Beastmen in the next one. And I thought, you know what, I haven't played as a Beastman in a while, I'm going to do that actually. So, IR Beastman, that sounds like an author, IR Beastman. Tales of the Glade by IR Beastman. Anyway, this map's pretty cool, Ancient Dragon Cove. It's got this hilly opening in the middle, kind of tactical, and then two lots of trees on either side for both the armies to start in. It's a pretty sweet map. My Beastmen army is pretty light on the infantry, as in I don't have a lot of it. I've only got 3 units of Goreherds with shields. Shields, of course, very important against these elves, because they will cut me to pieces with arrows if I'm not careful. And then I've got some missiles out the front, just 1 unit of Ungor Raiders. They, of course, have stalk, so I can get them in on the sly, hopefully, before they realise they're there. And, of course, I've got a Gorball, because no Beastmen army is complete without a Gorball. It's an absolute tank of a beast of a thing. Ungor Spears, with shields, of course. They're going to be my anti-large. I've only got 1 unit of them. And you'll see why in a minute. You'll see why I've gone light on the infantry. Now, oh yeah, so this is my Bray Shaman of the Wild, who I pretty much used just to bring a Cygor. Except I started putting him on a chariot, and it actually makes him really far more cost effective, because in a melee fight he's not that great, because he's a shaman. But put him on this, and he becomes an absolute beast, of course, because that is a pretty beasty unit, is the Razorgore chariot. My general is the one-eyed and only Kazarak the One-Eye. I wanted a lord that could beat the crap out of all their lords, so Kazarak seemed like a good choice. You can look at his nasty eye. Someone get that goat an eye patch. Jesus. So, that's my small but punchy, ever-dangerous infantry corps. It may look small and pathetic, but it's far from that, believe me. I've got these Warhounds with them as well. Their purpose will be revealed. Also got some Razorgore Herd. I thought they'd be pretty good for just running elves through. They are armor-piercing, of course, which is a little bit unnecessary against the elves, but against Treekin and stuff, they could do a bit of damage, but I brought them along anyway. And then on my right flank, all the way over hidden in these trees, it's just a hell of a lot of Centaurs, basically. Mostly the regular types, non-armor-piercing ones. I think I've got 3 units of those, and then 1 unit of... Oh no, wait, 2 units of those, and then 1 unit of Great Weapons, and then a unit of Chaos Warhounds with them as well. So that is my heavy cavalry right. And yes, they are positioned quite far away from the main army. On my left, I've got more Centaurs and more Warhounds. These ones are sneaking off into the trees to have a scout for the enemy. And that is my entire army. Now, you might be wondering, Sir, why the frick have you brought so many cavalry? Jesus Christ, bring some infantry, man. Well, as you may have seen in one of my previous online battles, there's an elven build going around at the moment where people just bring spears and then a ton of skirmishers, and they just shoot the crap out of you with all the skirmishers, and there's not a lot you can do about it. And I was expecting him to bring that, so I built my army for that purpose, to deal with that kind of army, but he didn't bring that army. He's only got 3 units of missiles, the Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards. Also had a Waystalker there. He's got some Astro Spears. These are, of course, pretty dangerous to large units in all their blonde glory. He's got 2 units of those, I think, on either flank. So I've got to keep an eye out for them. They're going to be pretty dangerous to me. Also got 1 unit of Eternal Guard back here with shields, just a random one, all by themselves. So 3 units of skirmishers, 2 units of Astro Spears. He's got another random single unit of Wildwood Rangers, of course anti-large, going to be pretty dangerous to me, especially in the forest as well. I think they get a little bit of a buff in some fashion. And then he's just got a whole bunch of Treekin, who are of course going to be pretty tough to bring down. And then his general is a Glade Lord Lady, on a horse. I nearly said on a goat then. That would be interesting. That would be like the ultimate insult to the Beastmen. Then in the woods, he's got some Wild Riders. Of course, very dangerous cavalry, very strong, especially against my lightly armoured Centaurs and such. And that is pretty much his army. So, with his build, he's kind of made my build a little bit ineffective, of course, because I presumed he was going to do something, but he didn't do it. So he's kind of got the advantage now in that I've brought a build that's not well equipped, really, to deal with that much infantry and all those Treekin and stuff. So I need to try and apply things as best I can to really hope to win this one. I was sneaking up my Warhounds here to try and find out where he was. They came into range of the skirmishers, and I was gone quick time. Don't want to take any damage from them. Those Swift Shiver Shards ones are the ones that have a shorter range, but they fire 2 arrows at once, so they kind of double up on their damage, potentially. Pretty dangerous. Other than that, it's pretty quiet at this point. He's moving his Wild Riders into the trees on the right. He's going to try and have a scout for me as well. As of course, neither of us can see each other. He's hidden away in the trees, and I'm hidden behind the hill. He can't see all my Centaurs here, which is, you know... as he sneaks around the right-hand side towards 4 units of mine. I am ready to pounce on him. I'm expecting him to come in. I'm going to charge out and just absolutely mess his face off. Whatever the hell that means. Well, that's about all that's happening at the moment. Still quiet on all the other fronts. I'm moving my skirmishers up. He won't be able to see them though, of course, because they have stalk. But yeah, a quiet, patient game this one. Neither of us rushing to make a move. We're waiting for the other one to make a mistake, which is what I think is about to happen right now. So I was deciding whether to just rush out on him or let him find me first and then rush on him. I decided to opt for charging at him before he found me because I figured I might get an advantage. But as you can see, he was ready for it and he runs away straight away. I can only imagine his terror when he saw this many centaurs charging out the forest at him. It's a whole lot of horsey goat men. So the thing about this is as well that Wild Riders only have 85 speed, you can see there. And my good old centaurs have about 90 something, yeah, 96 speed. These ones are a little bit buffed, I think. So I'm hoping I'm going to catch him before he gets back to his army. I think what I maybe should have done though is to send my warhounds running off as if they were scared of the Wild Rider. Just send them off running this way. And they'd be like, oh crap, Wild Riders are coming. And then they maybe chase them and I could have just charged out into him or come out behind him. And then I would have been able to wrap him up. I think that would have been a better plan and maybe would have had a better chance of catching him. He's run through the forest here where he gets a minor speed boost as well, which is help him get away. I don't think I get slowed down. I don't think the Beastmen get slowed down by forest. And as you can see, it looks like my speed boost is not quite going to be enough to be able to catch him. It's gaining on him. We're gaining on him. I'm keeping a close eye on the situation. There we go. As soon as the missiles come in, I was ready for the missiles. I was like, nope, if there's missiles coming, I'm getting away. So he managed to run away straight away. Don't think we really took any damage there. But his Wild Riders have survived just. But we'll make him think twice before he goes in those trees again. He managed to dodge a bullet there. But I'm going to give him some more bullets to dodge. And they're going to be a lot bigger. And they're going to be thrown by a Cygor. So this is the reason I brought my Brave Shaman along. So I could bring this big boy. He is of course time sensitive now. So can't really have him lingering around. Which actually makes this map kind of counterproductive for me. Because I can't actually see any of the enemy because they're all hidden away. My cavalry has all been pulled back to these trees for safety. Not looking to rush him in too quick, so just going to keep him out of the way. He's sending his Wild Riders over to have a look. His main army is not going anywhere, staying put. He's creeping over. Did he not learn his lesson about creeping up to trees full of centaurs? I'm going to fast forward a bit here. I'm starting to move up now. I decide not to waste my Cygor and I push on him now so that my Cygor can actually be of some kind of use. And because, you know, we are the Beastmen. Oh, scored a hit with my Cygor there. Got 3 sweet kills on the Wild Riders. It's a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. So yeah, we're playing law friendly here. We're being the Beastmen. We're being aggressive. That's how they're meant to be, right? And the elves are supposed to just hide in the forest. That's basically how this one's playing out. Perfect. So I'm mobilizing my entire infantry corps. Going to start moving up my left. My right's already up here, of course. Split up my warhounds a little bit. Trying to play a little bit of a confusing game. Obviously don't want him to know where everything's coming from. He's starting to form a bit of a wall to stop me from flanking him. Which of course I can't see at this point, so I had no idea these 2 units were here. He's bringing his Wild Riders over there as well. Gonna have to watch out for them on the flank. Slowly moving my boys up. Still not in any kind of rushing hurry, because obviously I'm expecting him to have the ranged advantage, so I'm just creeping up. I'd ideally like to get my skirmishers. I'm trying to kind of lure him out, that's why I've stopped in front of the forest. And he'd end up stumbling into my Ungor Raiders and take a few arrows to the face, which of course does quite a bit of damage to the elves because they have no armor. He was trying to creep some Wild Riders in there. I deterred him with centaurs. Starting my proper advance now. Saying screw this. Border waiting. I'm coming in. Centaurs coming in on the right. Warhounds taking a bit of fire from these Swift Shiver Shards. Pretty dangerous unit, but I'm going to charge in. These units only just became visible to me. I just saw them in the nick of time. You'll see me issue an attack order in a second. Those are Wildwood Rangers. They do actually have a charge defense, so they're not going to take too much damage on the charge, but I decided to charge into them instead of pulling back. I was of course just trying to get behind them ideally and get around to those skirmishers, but he stopped me there. Some Asteroid Spears there, got to watch out for those. These Warhounds came in and got routed quickly. These Razor Gore Hood, I didn't really micromanage these very well. I just kind of charged them into whatever was in front of them, which happened to be spears, which is of course a terrible matchup for them. Some Centaurs have been netted there. Some other Centaurs getting after the Wild Riders there. Wild Riders are pretty strong, so that's probably not a great idea of me. Let's slow it down so we can see what's going on. There's a lot going on and it's in the forest. We can't really see what the hell anything's doing. Oh, my Cygor's nearly dead. He's only got his 4 kills. Useless. So I've kind of engaged across the front line, charged into their Treekin, got my Ungor Raiders and anything else into there. My Chariot's charged through. Looks like he's getting into the skirmishers. That's going to stop them firing. He's got 20 kills already. That's pretty good. Good old Brave Shaman. So the left side is all about the cavalry at the moment. The centre is full of infantry, and this right side, I pulled all my Centaurs back here. Obviously don't want them fighting the Wildwood Rangers and the Asteroid Spears. You can see them just running away there. Taking about a third of the Wildwood Rangers' health. We've lost a bit ourselves. One unit's pretty beaten up, but the other 2 aren't too bad. Going to try to get round the Wildwood Rangers this time. See I'm trying to move over here. And of course one of the units pathfinding is genius. Just run straight into Wildwood Rangers again. Cool. Still just trying to mash my way through these Treekin. with my Gore Herd. There's their general there, getting into her a little bit. These Razor Gore Herd not doing too badly, 23 kills against spears, obviously not their ideal target. My Razor Gore Bray Shaman is making short work of these skirmishers, 43 kills he's got, awesome. Centaurs have arrived, these other skirmishers are pretty screwed now. Gonna run through them pretty quick, they shouldn't last too long. Another unit of cavalry coming in on the other side, flanked through on the left, finally got free. Gonna take out the rest of the skirmishers, so most of his missiles are gonna be pretty quickly dealt with by all my cavalries here and my Bray Shaman. But that's a victory on getting rid of his skirmishers, although in the forest, as you may have seen in one of my other videos, elves in the forest means they shoot a lot of trees, so they can be a little bit less effective, archers in the trees. His Asteroid Spears have arrived now though, to try and save them, and I don't think I was microing enough to see this, so my Centaurs are probably going to get destroyed. There's 2 units of Asteroid Spears coming in, so a good counter to my Centaurs of course. The old Razor Gore Herd, they've just about had enough. They got themselves 27 kills though, not completely terrible, but for the price, probably could have done a bit more. My Ongor Herd and my Gorball here, getting after the Glade Lady. Gorball, gonna give her a smash in the face. She's got her down to half health. She's gonna run away, because she's not gonna last too long against that Gorball. Oh, he's just netted Kazrak there for some reason. I would have thought netting the Gorball would have been a better idea. Got some struggling Warhounds here. I think I sent them after the Wild Riders. Sending my Gore Herd over to try and get after these Azrai Spears. They've made short work of my Centaurs and my Chariot by the looks of it. The bastards, or bitches. Got to use the right derogatory term. The Gore Herd have arrived though, so these Azrai Spears are going to be in trouble now. They shouldn't do too badly against them, the Gore Herd, as the Azrai Spears are armor piercing and stuff, which the Gore Herd are not, of course. What else we got going on? So Wild Riders here, they've got after my Ungor Raiders finally. They're going to get destroyed, that's fine. I've got loads of Warhounds around. I'm yet to micro these back in. More Gore Herd here. Forgot to get them. But it's actually kind of almost a good thing in a way that you forget to micro units sometimes, because it gives the unit a rest. So if they're quite tired, they get to just stand around and replenish and become fresh again. So there's kind of a bonus to it if the unit's out of breath, sort of thing. Bit of a mash going on over here, trying to get through these Treekin. There's spears in here, there's Wildwood Rangers in here. We've just routed the spears nearly. So yeah, we're just kind of mashing what's left of each other into each other. Glade Lord's just about survived. He's got half his health, half her health even. Asarai and Gore Herd throwing down still. So we do have the numbers advantage. There's like 60 odd left in my unit and only 37 Azrai Spears. So that's a 20 man advantage, or 20 goat advantage if you will. See how that one turns out. Lots of scattered remnants of units around now. My Chariot's coming back. I can't remember what I did with him. I think I charged him into someone else. I don't think I've realised at the moment. He's just sat there. Is he? No. Azrai Spears. Gore Herd. This unit of Gore Herd that was sat there, that were chilling. They were fighting these Treekin. I pulled them away from the Treekin because I thought that's just a terrible matchup. I'll have them fighting the Azrai Spears instead. The Treekin are going to follow them, of course, but it'll do. Got all my Warhounds after the Wild Riders. They're going to struggle against Wild Riders, but they'll be able to munch down on them a little bit, do a bit of damage. Looks like they had them wavering there. These Treekin in the middle, though, the Gorball, Kazrak, they've got them sorted. These Gore Herd got smashed to bits by Treekin, I think, more than anything else. Chariot's coming back. Oh no, Chariot shit himself. He's gone. He's gone, never mind. So I thought the Chariot came back. He's got 60 kills though, which isn't terrible. And obviously Cygor got all of 4 kills, so you know. This battle rage is on. Gore Herd and Azrai Spears. Who will win? The numbers are evening out a bit, 45 to 29. We might get him. We might just get him. He's netted my Centaurs here, what's left of my Centaurs. Still got a bunch of units out here, so I'm bringing some of them back in. Razor Gore Herd still around. They're still knocking around. So he's bringing his Azrai Spears and his Treekin over though to my Centaurs. And he tries to charge my Centaurs with his Glade Lord here, and well, let's just watch how that one goes. Yeah, just not very well. You don't charge at Centaurs. You got to be a bit quicker if you want to get them while they're netted. But guess who's coming over? Kazrak and the Gorball and lots of angry other goats. Yeah. So this Waystalk is actually in pretty good condition. He hasn't taken too much damage. The Glade Lady has seen enough. She's retreating to the hills. She's not routed, she's just retreating. Got my Warhounds fighting these Azrai Spears here. Obviously not the best matchup, but at this point I'm just trying to be a nuisance with the Warhounds. And because those are so lightly armoured, the War Dancers... What the hell? Who just did that to the Gorball? He went absolutely flying. No one can do that to a Gorball. Get up, mate. Come on, get back in there and show him. Some spear on spear action about to kick off now. Azrai against Ungor Spearman. I think we know who's going to win that one. But we'll leave that. We should be fine. They haven't got many ladies left. Waystalker's been smashed in by the Gorball. He's had his revenge after being embarrassed like that, throwing the Gorball around like he's nothing. I can only assume it was the Waystalker that knocked him down anyway. I say knocked him down, knocked him fucking flying. Anyway, the Glade Lady sits upon the hill, firing a few arrows here and there, so she hasn't got much health left. And if we get the General dead, of course, it's probably going to be game over at this point, especially with these low armies. A few Azrai Spears left. My Gore Herder here struggling against them. Oh, guess who's coming? Oh my goodness, he absolutely destroyed them. There was like 6 or 7 ladies there, just now they're all in pieces. Maybe 2 of them survived. They're gone. That was brutal. Treekin are coming though. They're pissed. They're not happy about that. They don't like seeing their war dancers smashed to bits. Wildwood Rangers, they're on their last legs. They've got Kazarak coming at them and the Gorball. And he does it again. Just smashes them to bits. Kazarak's coming in. He does a few. Don't think these Wildwood Rangers are sticking around for too long. Spearmen as well. They have permanently routed. They are shattered. So you can see now my opponent is pulling all his units back towards his general. He's routed my Gore Herd. They're all heading that way. What's left of them? He's got some Azrai Spears. He's got his Waystalker. He's got a bit of health. Treekin. So he's pulling back out of the forest. They're all going to be up on that hill. And I'm back in the forest. Now at this point I'm thinking, oh, I've got to get him. I've got to get him. But then I realise, oh, actually, I should probably have a rest. Because at this point it could go either way. It's pretty close. He's got a fair few units left, but I've still got a freaking Gorball, and that's all that really matters. So it's kind of come down to the wire now. You can see the favour bar is in my favour. I wasn't really sure how. So he pulls out there. I'm sat in the forest. He's sat out of the forest. We were just chilling out, just both taking a bit of a rest. We're both exhausted. All our units are exhausted. So I'm thinking, all right, let's have a rest, and then we're going to have to throw down. And I said to the guy, I said to him, well, this is awkward. And he said, are you sure you want to let it go to a draw? Which I don't really know why I said that, because I didn't say anything about letting it go to a draw. But there wasn't much time left on the timer at this point. There was probably only like 5 minutes, 4 minutes left. But I'm still having a rest. I'm thinking, can I win this? I'm not sure I can get through those Treekin. They are pretty tough. I've got a full life Kazarak nearly. Got some Ungor Raiders. And of course my half-dead Gorball. We were having a little bit of a chat in the chat at this point. I said, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get through those Treekin, you know? And he said, yeah, well, I'm not sure I have the leadership to finish this. And I was like, alright, well, let's fucking find out. Let's finish this. So in terms of what I have left and what he has left, he's got Treekin. I've got my Ungor Raiders who are anti-large. They might be able to do some damage to them. You can see I've got considerably more forces. I've got 100, he's got 29, but then most of his are Treekin, and they probably count for at least 10 or 15 or maybe even 20 of my crappy Ungor Spearmen. My Gore Herd showing no signs of coming back. I could really use them at this point though. He's still got Azrai Spears as well. They'll of course do fairly well. They've got really high melee defense, so they don't go down easily. Unless a Gorball rolls through them, of course. So here we go, we're marching up. Gorball, Ungor Spearman and Kazarak versus Glade Lady, Treekin, Azrai Spears and a Waystalker. Who's going to win it? Place your bets. Go on, place it. Who do you think's going to win it? I'm walking up the Gorball, making sure to do that so I don't run him out in front like I did last time. But it's anybody's guess who could win this at this point. Dun 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 dun. Let's try and get a cool shot of Kazarak walking up. Oh, I caught him running. He looked cool when he's walking. He looks like a badass when he's walking. So here I pretended to charge my Gorball like I was going to charge him straight in to the Glade Lady. So I was going like that, but I'm going to pull him back out the way here so that I can draw these units into the Spearmen, tie them up, because my plan here is I want that Glade Lady with the Gorball. That's what I'm looking for. I'm gunning for her. So you see I'm trying to charge through there. Nothing doing, so I'm going to pull him back. Kazarak has been netted. I don't know why he didn't do the Gorball. Net the Gorball all the time. It's far more dangerous. So I'm pulling my Gorball back. I'm still trying to get after that Glade Lady. She's the one I want. If I get her dead, it's game over. I'm going to charge him in again. Watch this charge. Oh, he headbutts the Treekin. That Treekin completely stumped him. No pun intended. Oh, I didn't even plan that one. Going to pull the Gorball back now. Try and flank around the side. I'm still after that Glade Lady. He's searching. He's hunting for her. He can smell her. And oh, what's this? He's got sights on the Glade Lady. She's not very well protected. She's all alone behind the Treekin. And then she tries to charge into the Gorball. Oh dear. Fatal mistake. Watch her health go down. Oosh. Gores her. And he's going to finish her. Oh, with an axe to the brain. Glade Lady is down. Oh, and a victory roll from the Gorball as he charges through Treekin, knocking them around everywhere. And they are, of course, routed. A Pyrrhic victory. A very, very close victory that could have gone either way. My opponent should have kept his Glade Lady out the way there instead of charging her into a Gorball. That's just suicide, man. As for the kills, Well, you can see there in the numbers deployed, I had nearly twice as many as him. So I had the numbers advantage by far. But you can see Goreherd did okay, got a fair few kills. My Centaurs though, you see stopped them very well, didn't really do a lot with those. A lot of them got destroyed pretty early on. And this build, like I said, it was designed for that spears and archers build that people normally bring, but he didn't bring it. So it was a bit of a struggle to try and take him down with this build, but we just about managed it. Definitely could have done better with the Centaurs though. Gorbel didn't get too many kills, but he was fighting Treekin a lot of the time, I think. These Azrai spears, just monstrous kills. Of course, they've got more people to kill. His skirmishers didn't get a lot, but that's what you might expect when keeping them in the trees. Wild Riders, of course, they got a lot of kills. They always do. Treekin didn't do bad. So yeah, a pretty good battle. Good game to my opponent. Cool, Chris. Battles in the trees can sometimes be a bit tedious, but that one wasn't too bad because it was kind of a little bit out of the trees as well. As for what could have gone better for me and for my opponent, well, biggest mistake at the end there, having his Glade Lord charge into a Gorbel with low health. That's just a terrible idea. Just keeping her out of the way and keeping her alive would have been much better. Maybe he could have beat me there, I don't know. Kazrak had quite a lot of health. Ungor Spearmen obviously aren't going to do a great deal. The Waystalker and the Treekin probably would have sorted them out. Perhaps if he was able to get my Gorbel dead, he would have had a chance, but who knows? He did a pretty good job at defending his flanks, got those Azrai spears after my Centaurs. I couldn't really get them round properly because he had those Wildwood Rangers there, so he thwarted them pretty well. I had that missed opportunity early on where I could have got his Wild Riders potentially, could have wrapped them up, could have taken them down early on in the battle with all my Centaurs and my Warhounds, but he crept away from me. So missed opportunity there for sure. Overall though, I think my build was just kind of a bad one to face him because he had a lot of Treekin. I didn't really have a lot of anti-large. My only infantry was my Goreherd and that one unit of Spearmen. And then obviously the Gorbel's anti-large as well, so he helped a bit. But yeah, definitely not the best build for all the Centaurs against all those elves. They got a lot of anti-large units, those Azrai spears, very strong. Wildwood Rangers he had a unit of Spearmen as well. I think if I was in his shoes, I would have had my Treekin in a nice strong front line with no gaps in the middle so that they couldn't get flanked, and have the Azrai spears and the Wildwood Rangers and the Spearmen protecting the flanks from all the Centaurs. Who knows whether that would have worked though against all those numbers, but there we go. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the future.